It's Spoilerin time, folks. This is the show where we take all that hard discussion we do over on Cord Killers about how you get services, what services are available, how you pay for them, and we just watch stuff and we talk about it here. This week, we are going to talk about Hannibal, episodes 7 and 8 of season 3. We're going to talk about the finale of Loki, episode 6 of season 1, and the latest Rick and Morty, season 5, episode 5. I'm Tom Merritt. Brian Brushwood is out this week, but with me is Owen JJ Stone, a.k.a. O-Doctor.
A.k.a. O-Doctor LaForge. I'm spoiling exactly who I am. I can't
Is
see
this
you, but
blind justice? You put your headphones in front of your eyes?
Whose headphones? What have I can't? Oh, hey, there you go.
Hey,
he can see.
Hey,
he can
Bryce
see.
Here? Is Bryce here?
Yeah, Bryce is here, man.
Owen, can you hear me?
Can
you hear me?
Brycey booby baby, I got you, brother. There he is. We're spoilering.
All right, let's talk about Rick and Morty, season 5, episode 5. And Bryce, I know you tried.
I tried very hard to watch this episode of Rick and Morty, and
you tried too hard.
I
to
tried
watch this episode.
incredibly too hard. I simply didn't overthink it enough.
Let me ask one question real quick, right? So, Spoilerin time is a service provided to Patreons, right?
It is.
Public gets it later, but yeah, it goes to patrons first.
A couple days.
Patrons first, right? It's something special for them, for you guys.
Sure.
You know, some people might want to think, maybe do their homework before they come on the show. You know what I'm saying? Maybe some people might think to watch the episode that they're supposed to watch. I mean, you guys are paying good money for this. If I were you, I would send a direct tweet to Neshcom, an email to Bryce. I would let him know how I felt about him not being prepared for today's Spoilerin time. That's just what I'm going to say, because I've never watched one episode of Rick and Morty, but I did the homework. I'm here for you. I'm giving you the value you deserve. Let's talk about the episode, Tom.
Okay, but
Oh, and you watched a Morty can graffiti, right? That's the episode you watched?
Yeah.
That's interesting
Bryce,
because
what episode? You watched an episode. What episode did you watch?
I did watch an episode of Rick and Morty this morning, and it was not called a Morty can graffiti. I don't know how it happened, but I accidentally have you heard this before, Tom? I was traveling between countries, and then I accidentally traveled through time and watched not this week's episode or next week's episode, but the episode 2 weeks from now, apparently.
You watched Gotron Jerry Sis Rick Vangelion?
That's right. I did watch the Neon Genesis Evangelion parody titled episode, which was a good episode. It's fun, but
so 2 weeks from now, you're all over.
2 weeks, I'm set. I'm set. Sorry,
that's weird. That's weird.
It is.
You accidentally left your security VPN on, and we're served an entirely different episode.
Exactly, and I don't even know how that happens. But how was a Morty can graffiti?
Maybe you fell through a demon time schedule thing, and you went to hell and got trapped in the demon world.
I do, but you know what? And I would believe that. I would believe that.
I'm really sad that Brian isn't going to be discussing this one, because I feel like all his complaints about Rick and Morty this season were gone in this episode. This was not extremely egregious. It had some clever twists. We had the focus on Summer and Morty doing their own adventures, which was new and different. You had Jerry. You got the fake out on Jerry, where we are like, oh, Jerry's actually hanging out with Rick. Oh, of course he's not hanging out with Rick for the reason stated. But then you find out that it's not that Rick is like putting one over on Jerry. It's that Rick's in a tough spot and he needs Jerry to fix it. And you had two. I don't know which is the B plot here. You had two really strong plots. Don't you agree, Owen?
I do believe so. I'd also like to add in that this is definitely one of Brian's episodes. They had a Hitler reference in it. That just always throws Brian over the top when any movie, show, or book has a Hitler reference in it, especially when it's related to humor. But I feel like the Summer, and what's the little brother's name? I don't watch the show. Morty. Okay, he's Morty. I'm sorry. That plot was the A plot, because the car with the driving, and my favorite part when they put the little robot in the lawyer's head. Oh, it was amazing. It's a fun show. I'm gonna start watching it. I watched Solar Opposites, and I never knew that Rick and Morty was the same thing. I watched this. The voices are the same.
Yeah.
And I love Solar Opposites. I watched both. So now after watching this episode, I'm going to be locked into Rick and Morty. I've been addicted now. They got me hooked in with this episode. It was a great episode. The demons were great. I love the demons.
Yeah. It was just a romp.
Guys.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. It was not like, I don't know if every episode's like that, but it was nonstop stuff popping off.
I would say this is a fairly good introductory episode, especially for jumping in the middle of season 5 and letting you you get everybody's characters explained in this, presented, not even explained in this episode for sure. Like you know who Summer is, you know who Morty is, you know Rick, just from this one episode, I bet.
And yes, and my favorite thing is the reality of how the world works out. Anytime you have a girls' night or a guys' night, and someone's significant other shows up, it ruins that night. I don't care what you say. I don't care what the plans were. If you were supposed to have a guy's night and one of the wives shows up, things turn into a problem. Vice versa. This episode, the wife shows up, and I just knew it was going to be on like Donkey Kong because all the guys stop having fun, and all hell literally breaks loose.
And it happens in both stories.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. I hadn't even thought about that. Like it literally happens in both storylines. And also just love the car. The sassy, intelligent car who like tricks the kids to get its own kicks. I love that gambit.
So is the car like that all the time?
No, this is the first time we've seen the car.
Oh, this is the first time the car have an episode.
They're in the car all the time, and it will talk like directly, like, oh, crisis ahead. This is the first time we've gotten to know the car's personality.
For those who don't watch the show or have watched the show, the car is a sexy, motivated, beastly individual out to destroy the universe with all the power and know-how to do so, and is only being kept back by the love and devotion of Rick, apparently, because when this car is set loose, it takes over the world. It's Kit on crack cocaine. It is amazing. It's a great episode. I loved it. Yeah. I had so much fun.
I love that gambit of like, if you stole your parents' car, quote unquote, stole, like took your parents' car without permission, that the car would be like, oh, we're breaking rules? Great. Let me break some.
Oh, that was the best part when they were doing their thing and the car was like, all right, I'd let you have fun. And then it, what's the movie? Mike Tyson, they drunk that night. What's the movie?
The Hangover.
The Hangover.
The Hangover. They have a hangover movement, and it's like she's just showing them pictures of all the crazy stuff that they did. It was like, look, let me do my thing, or I'm gonna put this all out on the internet, baby. And then they let the car take loose, and the car is just destroyed. The car destroyed Galactus. I don't care what nobody said. That was Galactus. That was Galactus. The car just. I'm like, how does car? And that's when the car started with destruction. The car started with one of the greatest power evils known to the universe, a Galactus type figure, and it literally just destroyed it like that, and got annoyed because it was too easy. And then went on to bigger fish to fry. It was an amazing episode.
It was a genius epised. Bryce, what did you think of it?
I think we're in for a good episode in 2 weeks. Okay, look. The website. It sounds fun. It sounds very fun.
Yeah, I can't wait for you to watch it.
I'll text you.
When it comes to your region, you're really going to enjoy this episode.
That's right.
So I have one other thing to say. I assume Bryce is getting paid for this. I'd like to have a deduction to his pay scale for this lack of business. I mean, I'm trying to get my check. I did Brian's job here today, but Bryce did no job. Bryce just showed up here. So I'm just going to write this deduction right here for Bryce's payment this week. I mean, do your job, bro. You got like one job. I mean, one job. Watch a TV show, Bryce.
Now we not only have to pay Owen for filling in for Brian, but also for accounting and HR.
Hey, I'm just saying, we're taking out of Bryce's fees because apparently he's got other things to do, international traveler, man of mystery, besides doing his job. It's embarrassing, Bryce. It's embarrassing.
Can I clip this segment of this podcast out and play it anytime anyone else on the show doesn't watch something?
Yeah, I mean, if you want to do it, I'm here for the people. I mean, I'll give you a direct clip. You didn't do your job. You didn't do your homework. What are you doing? It's spoiler time. Go home. Shut off your webcam. You're embarrassing yourself, Bryce.
Any other thoughts on Rick and Morty season 5, episode 5?
Great episode.
Yeah, great episode. It was a great episode.
It was a really good episode. Yeah. All right, let's talk about Loki, season 1, episode 6. This is the finale of season 1. As we know from this episode, there will be a season 2, so we don't have to go through that whole rigmarole like we've had to with every other Marvel series on Disney Plus. Season 1, episode 6, For All Time Always. ends at a cliffhanger. Even we're left with not knowing the final destiny of everything. What did you think of it, Owen?
I know the final destiny of everything.
I watched this one.
Oh, you watched it? You want to go first, Bryce? Go ahead. Tell something,
please.
Bryce.
No,
go ahead, Bryce. You sure, Bryce?
It's
because you opened your mouth when he threw to me to have me talk. So if you want to say something,
no, please.
I mean,
please go ahead.
Carry on.
No,
right?
please.
Otherwise, okay, young boy, hush your mouth while the grown folks is talking. Okay, we watch the shows. Okay, let me tell you something. Kang the Conqueror makes Thanos look like Bryce, okay? Makes him look like he didn't do his homework. Make him look like he didn't show up for the Patriots, okay? Thanos is nothing compared to Kang the Conqueror. Not only did this set this up for the multiverse of madness, but this man, think about it. He's on multiple different universes. He fought himself throughout all times and all things, and he became this joking, benevolent God at the end of it all because this doesn't matter to him because he defeated the most powerful beings in the universes himself. So yeah, go ahead and kill me so I can take a nap, okay? Because I'm just going to be reincarnated. I got to come back and fix everything that you done messed up again. This is the battle of all battles. The dude's got infinity stones rolling around in his back pocket like it's loose change, okay? This is going to be amazing. The arc that this guy's going to have is going to, I'm excited for. I'm excited for the future of Marvel, knowing that Kang the Conqueror is going to be running and wrecking everything. So
also,
excited.
Jonathan Majors, genius performance, right?
It was great.
I still don't know if this Kang the Conqueror was just crazy, was honestly like, yeah, I just need you to let me out of this, or was planning this the whole time, or all three, right? Because I tend to think that he got the result he wanted, that he was manipulating them into making this happen. That feels right to me.
Again, he needed a break. He's like, you know what?
I don't
if you're
think
going to do it.
Or maybe he did. He needed a break, but he also wanted them to end the world and release all of his other personalities.
Because maybe here's the biggest thing. Like, having a child, my child doesn't understand the value of me at all times. Like, I could literally snap your neck if I wanted to. I could not feed you if I didn't want to. Like, there's so many things I could do to just end your whole world because I am your world. But you don't appreciate it. He wants to be appreciated at the end of time. He's like, I've been sitting here at the end of time. I've been holding everything together and nobody knows. You know what? You feed yourself. You go to work. I know you're a 6-month-old baby. I don't care. You try to fix everything and see how it works out for you. And Daddy will be back after a drunken weekend.
Into distrusting each other enough that they couldn't even team up to feed themselves after he was gone. It was,
And that to that point, the greatest liar of all liars realized the truth and the lie that he needed to let it go. And he couldn't convince his other counterparts to do the same. But he knew in his heart that it was right. Even though all the things he's ever wanted, conquering, taking over, all power, everything. He's like, look, this dude's doing it the right way. There's no other way.
That's always always a great motivation for a villain is being objectively right, I mean, yeah, the man who remained, the one who remained,
he who remains,
does have a pretty tight grip over, existence. But I don't know how you ignore the argument of it will be demonstrably worse for everyone infinity times over if you don't just do the thing that needs to happen, which is a little bit of the dictatorial control.
I'm also, there was one throwaway line from Sylvie where she says, but I'm not you, which I think is meant to make us doubt.
Yeah.
Because it could mean she's just not the same as our Loki, Tom Hiddleston Loki, or it could mean she actually isn't a Loki after all, and that was all a misunderstanding, or she thought she was a Loki and then she found out she wasn't. Because I think she's definitely the Enchantress. She might also still be a Loki or not. I don't know.
Yeah, to a point, yes, on that. I didn't think about that, but yes, that might be a thing. Because even in that, to that point, the other Lokis came to realize they had to support Loki, right?
Right.
Like they came around to the realization, like, look, all right, I've got to do what needs to get done for him. But she was always fighting him to the ends of everything, and it just happened to work out. They kept getting saved, and you know how plots get pushed along. But she was always defiant to everything, any kind of rationale he would make. She was defiant to.
Yeah, and with the Marvel stuff, anytime there's magic, it's a soft enough system where it would make sense on some level if Loki and a not Loki, an enchantress or a magic user, whatever, are still able to hold hands and power of friendship multiply their power. Yeah, I think there's nothing hard. There's no hard sciences in the Marvel movies, and so yeah, she totally could be just another green aesthetic superhero or villain.
Maybe she was told she was Loki.
Yeah,
maybe she's part Loki.
She grew up in Asgard, didn't she? That's where she was taken from.
Right. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
I think there's more coming on that for sure.
Yeah.
Will we see Sylvie in a movie, or is she just reserved for the next Loki series?
I believe she's a strong enough female character that she might get into a movie, because she's a very strong character, and they don't have a lot of strong female characters. So, you know, with her power per se, I could see some point down the line, even, you know, with her and Wanda being together, using that kind of power to try and fix this multiverse. So maybe, hopefully, I like her as a character. So hopefully they do squeeze her into a movie.
Yeah.
All right. Last question. At the very end, Sylvie pushes Loki through the door. He ends up back at the TVA. He goes running up to Owen Wilson, and he's like, "Oh my God, this happened. We got to go back. I was there. I made it to the end of the time." They have no idea who he is. They're looking at his tie like, "Oh, you're an analyst. What's your name again?" So not only are they from a different timeline, obviously, because they didn't experience any of the events that would have led them to Loki, but they don't even recognize him as Loki.
Which means they're not just in a different time and space, they are outside of a different time and space, because this is the TVA and all of the Citadel and stuff are outside of space-time. So, I mean, it's certainly confirmation that we're in another time. We're in another universe. Yeah, we're in another universe that has its own accessory to time and space, which is the TVA.
Or killing Kang stopped him from creating one TVA, and there are multiple TVAs that think they're outside of time and space, but none of them really are.
Oh, that makes sense.
Or there's a reboot in time, and time started over again, and he's in the TVA, the recreation of time.
So it's the TVA outside of time, but just one with a whole new...
A reboot. And the thing that made me the most annoyed about that, because I caught that little thing that they did where they try to think he was an analyst, the fact that the change of Loki was so physical, the fact that this dude kept wearing his variant outfit the entire time once they changed him over was so annoying to me, because Loki would never do that. That's a stark description showing that he changed. Like when he was with his other Lokis and the alligators there, and
he had a chance to change clothes,
and he had multiple chances when set free to go back to wearing his uniform, and he chose to wear this uniform, symbolizing, I already foreshadowed that, symbolizing, okay, this dude is like on time's side. He's rational now. He's not wearing a super green lightning suit. So
he has arrived at the same place that Prime Loki did by Avengers Infinity War, just by a different route.
Yes.
Yeah. Right. I really enjoyed it. It's a great series. I had a good time.
And like I said, I'm just excited for Kang to start rocking the rest of the multiverse.
I think he's going to be more Jonathan Majors.
I hope he's going to be around for a good 10 movie arc. Like I said, the thing that drives me crazy a little bit is Thanos was such a buildup. Like you saw him in the shadows, and then he had his own like 3-movie, like, I'm here now. Like, with showing me this, so you know what the problem is, they have to perpetuate this to make more money. You know what I mean? Because you only have so many big bads.
Well, so the best part about Kang, the way they set it up, you can defeat him multiple times.
And yes, and that's why I said Thanos is nothing compared to him, because you kill him, it doesn't matter. Another one's coming. And at the end, it's going to end up being the Kang that was killed It's like, all right, well, I'm back again because the universe keeps resetting and I'm gonna take over again. But hey, it has to be the way I made it, like, because that's the only way we win. And everyone's gonna have to accept his rule of law to run the universe. And maybe in one of these timelines, somebody will help Bryce do his homework to prepare for the show of Spoilerin time and be ready to do what he's supposed to do. I don't know. There's multi-universes, and hopefully one of them, they get Bryce to do what he's supposed to do.
I like that what if episode. Yeah.
What if Bryce watched the right episode of Rick and Morty?
I mean, what if he showed up to his job? I mean, some people are getting paid. I mean, like I said, patrons. I'm just saying, email the guy. I'm just saying, they're here for you.
That's right.
They work for you, just to let you guys know. And on that note, I've been here too long. I haven't received a check, so I'm going to bow out now and let you guys carry on to do the rest of your show without me. I've done all I can for you, Bryce. I've carried the load as long as I could.
You've done loads more than you can imagine.
Bryce might say you've done more than enough. Yeah.
Some would say, right? It would be Bryce because he doesn't do what he's supposed to. I love you, Tom. I love you guys.
Oh,
and I'll see you later.
I missed you. It's only been a week, and I already missed you. So it's so good having you back, man.
You bamboozler. See you guys.
Take care, man. Oh, JJ Stone, a.k.a. Oh, Doctor. Go find him everywhere the internet is pervade. That is Loki, Season 1, Episode 6. All right, Bryce, let's talk about Hannibal. Season 3, Episodes 7 and 8. These are Digestivo, which kind of wraps up the first storyline of the season, and then The Great Red Dragon, which seems to kick us ahead 3 years into a new storyline as we finish the final season.
Tom? Hannibal's back, baby. Oh, it's back. Oh, they got me. Oh,
in the Great Red Dragon? In the Great Red Dragon? Same here.
What it was is the surprise of we just spent all of the first half of season 3 like really relitigating all of the murder at Hannibal's house and then eventually his capture in the first of our episodes today. But then out of nowhere, hey, you guys like Red Dragon? What if we did Red Dragon again? How do you like that's great. We go from what felt like a really bespoke story in season 1 and season 2. Like, how do you can't make a procedural out of the way that they're telling the story. But now Hannibal's caught. Now he's caught. He's been in prison. So let's do the hits. Let's come up with new ones. I can totally see a world where if this had gotten a season 4 or season 5, that this would be the structure to keep telling new stories in the Hannibal verse without needing to overly rely on the movies or hope that there are novels. You can if Hannibal's in a cell and Will is got problems talking to him, you can go and you can have new serial killers. I thought it was such a great surprise.
Yeah. You can put him on that dolly and wheel him out every once in a while.
Yeah.
Have his headset on, which I thought they were going to do when they had Will in prison in season 2. I thought, we're going to do a reverse of this, but that's not the way they went. I have to say, Digestivo and the early part of the season, filmically very interesting. Remind me a lot of Lynch and Twin Peaks kind of stuff in some ways, but it wasn't holding my interest. And The Great Red Dragon really brought it around where I'm like, all right, maybe I'm basic, maybe I'm a Philistine, but I just like having a murder to solve again. I like Will being brought. It's very interesting to bring Will back into this now that we know what he's capable of and what the risk of him doing this job is. The stakes are even higher for Will in assisting and not knowing what Hannibal's really up to. I mean, he gave himself, that was the only interesting part of Digestivo, is that he gives himself up at the end. You may have saw it coming, but it was a surprise to Will anyway, that he did that. And we're still not quite sure why. So that's a little mystery that's hanging over the rest of these episodes.
Yeah. I think it's smart that they put a time jump, that they put a 3-year time skip here. Because it almost felt like, and this might sound like a strange complaint, but it definitely seemed like the start of season 3 was okay, here is this moment in time. Let's take everybody's characters and find a way to spin them. Let's find a way to make everybody have a twist, right? Alana is now a super private investigator, and Will is, a part-time serial killer, and Jack is, the grizzled off-duty cop. And
Hannibal has a protege called Deus Ex Machina who can follow him around. So.
And so it was good to have a moment of like, let's really push all these characters forward. Let's I thought that was great, seeing like Will in a kind of an undefined relationship with a female.
Oh yeah,
character.
he suddenly has a family. Right, he's a family man. I thought that was an interesting bit of depth where it's like
stepson.
Yeah, yeah. I think that's her son that he is now married into, and we don't really know the full situation with the father, but I'm sure that more of that will be revealed as time goes on. Probably, I'm guessing the father was murdered. Right? Gotta be.
Oh, I could see that.
Yeah.
Oh, I mean that's interesting. It's interesting, huh?
But yeah, Great Red Dragon brought me back into paying attention. Stop playing solitaire, and I was like, oh yeah, okay. I can.
What did you think?
15 minutes of bees anymore. It's like.
What did you think of the reintroduction of the Red Dragon killer?
It doesn't blow me away because I'm not as familiar with that character. I know what it is, but I do like that they sort of faked us out on this a couple of times where like, this is going to be the killer that Hannibal and Will team up to find. And you're like, well, I know there's canonical characters. Why don't you just do those? So it feels good that they are like, oh yeah, no, we don't have the rights to Buffalo Bill, but we're definitely going to do, what is his name? Francis Dolarhyde. We're going to do that. And this will be the rest of the season. And it does feel like they were finding their way in this season. As other people told us, they didn't know they were going to get a season 3 and kind of made it up as they went along. And it's like, if they had gotten a season 4, I imagine it would have been continued pursuit. Although maybe it was like, we're probably not going to get a season 4. Let's just blow it all and do Red Dragon. Why not?
Yeah. And it feels like it feels fun doing that. For whatever reason, I guess just because this previous half of a season was kind of a slog, and we've had multiple people tell us that as well.
Yeah,
it is. You're right. It's like, it's refreshing a little bit to remember that this is actually a show about capturing serial killers, and the promise. I think that's part of what it is the promise. Oh my gosh, Red Dragon. This is well covered territory. We can't do wrong because we've already shown that we can take the Hannibal story and really enhance it for TV. So let's really do that again for Red Dragon in kind of our last at bat here.
Our last push, yeah. Also, I'm not going to miss Varger.
Did he die? Is that what happened?
I don't know, but he's gone. Yeah, no, I think Hannibal killed him. Right?
Good. I don't know. We had people telling us that Varger. We had people telling us that Varger was a direct plot point from one of these Hannibal books.
Okay.
So either that's a spoiler or it's not.
He's gone now.
He's gone now, and you don't have to talk about his weird incest baby.
That was so weird.
I was worried that was the son, that Will's stepson, but I was like, that boy's too old to be the incest.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that's not it. You never know. Yeah. All right. Any other thoughts on Digestivo or the Great Red Dragon? Just excited. That's all. We're back for the stretch run. That is Hannibal, season 3, episodes 7 and 8. Yes, Bryce?
That's right. We did see Varger die. Verger died. The eel. He got smashed.
He got fed to the eels. That's right.
I forgot about that. Yeah.
He got fed to the eel.
Electrifying.
Seeing Varger. Next week, however, we will be watching more Hannibal. We will be watching episodes 9 and 10. We will watch Rick and Morty, episode 6. And we will begin Ted Lasso. Ted Lasso premiering July 23rd. So we will be talking about the return of Ted Lasso on Spoilerin time next week when Brian is back. Thanks, everybody, for supporting the show, getting these episodes a little early at patreon.com/cordkillers. We'll talk to you again next time.
Diamond Club hopes you have enjoyed this program.